Hi everybody, welcome back to Chaskop Engineering again, and today we're back with another video on the 2D sketching with Creo Parametric. Again, in this episode as well, we're gonna be working towards drawing a 2D sketch similar to this one. And yeah, as always, if you're new to this channel, welcome. In this channel we do all CAD stuff here, including 2D sketches, and in the future we're going to work with 3D models as well. I would highly appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel. It's going to help me greatly, and it's going to help me deliver all the future content to you. And if you've got any feedback, you can leave in the comment section. So without any further ado, let's get on with this video. So if you've been following this channel for a while, and in my previous videos you can see that I always try to identify a symmetry in all the parts that I draw. So in this case, the symmetry can be seen over here. As you can see that this part is symmetrical along the vertical axis. Sorry, I didn't drew it properly. So if I can draw it through the center, so all this part is symmetrical around this axis, the vertical axis, which means that if you draw this half of the part and you use the mirror command in the Creo Parametric, as you're going to see in the later in the video, you'll be able to create the other half as well, so you won't have to draw the whole part, the other half again as well. So with that out of the way, we're gonna get on with the video. So I'm gonna minimize this. So in Creo Parametric over here, you can see we've got three planes, the three sketching planes that we can use to draw our sketch on. We can choose any sketching plane we want. We've got the front plane, we've got the top plane, and the right plane. In this case, I'm gonna select the front plane, and as it's selected, it's highlighted green, and over here it's selected as well. So you can select it from the left side, and you can literally select it by clicking on the plane as well. And after clicking it, after it's highlighted, the plane is highlighted, I can go over here, press the sketch button, and then I can enter the sketching window after that. Now you can see the planes are still there. If I go over here and click the sketch view button, it's gonna orient the plane so that it's perpendicular to the screen. And now what I can do is, I don't need to see the plane, so I can hide this and hide the coordinate system as well by unchecking their respective boxes. So to start drawing, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify where the origin lies, so where the 0, 0 in the coordinate section is. So I'm going to use this circle, the center of this circle, as the origin. So all the other dimensions, so for example these ones, are going to come after I make this circle. So this circle has a radius of 14 units. Let's assume for this video all these dimensions are in millimeters, so we can say that this is 14 millimeters. So to start off with this part, I'm gonna make this circle of 14 millimeter radius. So I'm gonna go over here, click the center and point circle, come over here back. So this is the origin where both these axes cross. I'm gonna click to make the center, and then drag a bit, press escape. So now you can see over here, it's got a symbol of diameter. So this is showing the diameter of 122.11. We don't need that. We need a radius of 14 millimeters. So I'm going to click once, and then over here we can convert this diameter to a radial dimension. Click it again, and then convert it into 14. Now zoom in a bit, and then so now what you can see here is that although we've changed the radius of this circle, we are still able to dynamically change the radius of this circle by clicking and dragging it, intentionally or accidentally. What I can do to avoid that is by going over here, changing it back to 14, and then locking this dimension by clicking it once. Oops, press enter. So if you click it once, and over here you can see the dialog box, over here you can see the toggle lock button. If you click it, it would lock the dimension and you won't be able to click and drag the circle, and you won't be able to change the radius of this circle. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this circle which has a diameter. So now you must be able to identify these symbols. So this symbol means the diameter, the total diameter of a circular arc or a circle, and this R means radius. So now we have to make a circle of 57.2 diameter, which is vertically 57.5 millimeter downwards. We don't have a horizontal component to this distance, so we're going to assume that all these circles and all these circular arcs, the center of all these circular arcs lie on the line of symmetry. That brings me to the next point, is that I forgot to make the center line. Even in the previous video I forgot to make the center line initially. So center line is you have to draw it initially, so that can act as your line of symmetry. So that is our center line. Now we're gonna make the next circle, whose center is gonna be on the same center line. And after making this, I'm gonna press escape. So the diameter was 57.2 and it is 57.5 millimeter in vertical direction downward from the circle, from the origin. So make this 57.5, press enter, and make this as 57.2 millimeters. Again, I'm able to change this the diameter as well, so I'm gonna do that. Press Control, undo this, and then make this and lock this dimension, so I won't be able to change it. Similar to this one, now we can see that the radius, the diameter is locked, but not this vertical distance. So I'm gonna undo this and I will lock this dimension as well, so it is unchanged. So if you try and click and drag it, it's not gonna change. Now for the third circle, this one, it is 145.5 millimeters in the upward direction, in the vertical direction from the origin, and it has a diameter of 36.7 millimeters. So we can make that, pan the model a bit and then make the circle. It is 145.5 millimeters above, so lock this dimension, and it has a diameter of 36.7. Again, lock this as well, so we won't be able to change this. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this circular arc. Oops, sorry. To make the circular arc, I'm not going to make an specifically, I'm not going to use the arc command. I'm going to use a circular command so that it can create the whole circle, and I'll just delete the rest of the circle after we complete the model. So this circle is going to have a radius of 31.6, and it would be centered on this point as well. So both this circular arc and this circle are going to be concentric, which means both of them have a common central point. So I'm going to select the circular command and make a circle and change this to radial dimension and make it 31.6, and then lock it as always. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this circular arc, and if you could notice that this circular arc is a part of one circle. So I'm gonna make a circle centered on the origin, and if you could notice that this circular arc doesn't have a radial dimension or a diameter shown on it explicitly. What do I mean by explicitly is that it's not shown on the drawing, but you are still able to calculate it based on the other dimensions that are given. So if you could see over here, the the radius of this circle is 14, which means the distance from here, the center to this point, is going to be 14, and then this thickness of this section here is going to be 14, which brings the value from here to here is going to be 28. So the circular arc is going to be 28 in. Okay, you know what, we're going to make these two arcs first, and then we're going to do that for in the end, so that's going to make our calculations easier. So that brings me back over here. So this arc has a thickness, again in this case we don't know the what do you call it, the radius of this arc, which is not shown over here, but we can still calculate it based on the fact that the distance from here to here is 14, and since the radius of this circle is 14 as well, so the radial dimension for the radius for this arc is going to be 14 plus 14 equals to 28. So we're going to make a circle over here with this center with the radius of 28. So go over here, choose circle, and then make a radius of 28, convert it back to 28.0. yeah. Now the next thing we can see here is that we've got a the arc over here. Again, we cannot see any radial dimension on it, but we can see that this arc is offset from this circular arc by a distance of 28 millimeters. So we're going to use an offset command in Creo Parametric to make the other arc. I'm going to lock this dimension, and I will select this and then use an offset command to give it an offset distance of 28. Oops. Why can't I select it? Oh yeah, 28.0, and then press enter, and it's gonna give me this circle. Now I'm gonna delete, so as you can see over here, it's only a semicircle. Circular arcs, if you avoid this this arc, these arcs over here, so it's a semicircle, both of them. So I'm gonna delete the rest of the circle on our model. So I'm gonna go over here, select the delete segment command, and then I'm gonna click and drag it across these circles like this, and it's gonna delete it. So select this and press delete. So now now you can see over here we've got these arcs. Again, we cannot see any radial dimension on them, but since the distance between this arc and this arc is 28, so we can say that the diameter of this arc is 28, and thus the radius would be 14. So we're gonna make a circle over here with a radius of 14, and which is going to be tangentially joining these arcs over here on this point and this point. I'm going to make a circle, and it's going to join tangentially over here, and it's going to join tangentially over here as well, this point. And again, so if I select this point and this point, it should be okay. No, so this point has to lie on this axis, so I'm gonna select this point, hold control and select this point as well, and press this coincident constraint, which is gonna bring it down like this, and now we've got a perfectly tangential join over here. I don't need this section of this circle, so I'm gonna click the delete segment again and click this so that it removes it. Now we need so I think that's all we need to do. About this half, we don't need it, as I mentioned in the start of the video. This part is symmetrical along the vertical axis, so we only need to draw one half of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the stuff on the left side of the center point, on center line. So I'm going to go over here, delete segment, click and drag it across all the entities that lie on the center, on the left side of the center point and center line. I don't know why I keep saying center point. So center line, and we can see over here these white bubbles you can see over here. These are constraint symbols. We don't really need to see them, so I'm gonna go over here on the sketcher display filters, click it, and it's gonna have a drag down box, and over here I'm gonna uncheck the constraints display so that we can have a much better view of the part that we're making. So I'm gonna bring it over here, and I will make it clear of all these dimensions so that we can see it properly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this circular arc. So again, we need to calculate this radius as well. So the way you can calculate it is you can see this, we know this dimension, which is the radius, is going to be 14. Add that into 14, which is going to be 28, and then add this distance as well, which is going to be, make it 56, and then add 56 plus 14 is going to give us a 70 units. Let me just confirm it if that's the case. 56 plus 14, yep, 70. So 70 radius, so the radius of this circular arc is going to be 70. So we're going to make that. I'm going to use this as a center point and then make a circle, convert it back to radial dimension, and then make it 70 and block it. We don't need this side of it, so yeah. So now what are we gonna do? I'm gonna delete this segment as well. Now you can see that this circle is not going in a circular direction as it's supposed to, but it's curving inwards. So if you notice over here, the thickness of this section is 14 all the way through, and it's also following the curvature of this arc, these two arcs. So that's what we're gonna be using to make this section, because over here, as you can see, this circle keeps on going in a circular arc and it's not curving inwards. So to do that, we're gonna offset this arc by a distance of 14, which is the thickness of this section, and it's gonna help us create this smooth arc from this point. So I'm gonna select this arc, use the offset command, and then it has to be 14 this time. 14.0, perfect. So now you can see that it's smoothly joining and then curving inwards like this. Press enter. Now we don't need this section, so I'm gonna go over here, delete segment, and then delete it like this. You can see it's going all the way from here to here. We're gonna keep this here like this, but we will be deleting the rest of the section that we don't need. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this vertical line that is tangent from here to, and it's gonna join this underlying circle. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here, select the line command, point to the center of the circle, and then hover across to join tangentially to this circular arc, and then click to set the end start point, and then keep vertically dragging it down so that I reach the circle, and then press click the mouse button again and press escape to exit the line command. I don't need this section, so I'm going to delete that. And then over here you can see that we've got a smooth join with the fillet of radius 60 millimeters. So I'm going to go over here, select this and this line, and then press escape and set this the radius of this circle as the fillet to 60.0, and press toggle lock this dimension so that we're not able to change it. Okay, what are we gonna do next? The next thing would be making this line, or maybe the next thing we're going to do is make this line segment, and this line as well. So this line is 60 millimeters in vertical direction from this center of this point. So we're going to do that. Select the line command, go over here, and then make a horizontal line like this, and we need to so now it's referencing from this circle, but we need to reference it from here, 60, or we can reference it from this circle as well, because we know that 60 plus 57.5, whatever that number is going to be, we can reference that, but we need to follow this drawing. So it's going to be 60 millimeters down from the center of the circle. So I'm going to go over here, click this button, press Control, and then click this point as well. I'm gonna click this button, hold Control, and then select this point as well, and we're gonna select the vertical dimension, set it to 60. I think it was 60, right? Yeah, 60. And so now the next thing I'm gonna make is this horizontal line, which is 24 millimeters above this baseline. Oh yeah, we need to set this dimension as well. So it's 168. If we divide the 168 by 2, because we are only drawing from the center line, so if we make 168 divided by 2, it's going to give us 84 millimeters. So I'm going to set that as well. So that's going to be 84.0, and then I'm going to lock both these dimensions so that this line is fully constrained. So we're not able to change this. The next thing is this line. So since these both are gonna start from over here at the same point, so they both are collinear vertically, I'm gonna make a horizontal line like this, and then click another time so that to make the line. This distance is 24, as you could see on the drawing. Make it so lock this dimension, and then now what are we gonna do? So now we need to make this line, because before making this line, what you can see that this line is 21.4 millimeters away from this point on the circle, but if you want to reference it from the center of the circle, we need to know what this radius is. So if we divide 57.2, which is the diameter of this circle, by 2, so 57.2 divided by 2 is gonna be 28.6. So 28.6 plus 21.4, it's gonna give us 50, I think. Let's see. So 28.6 plus 21.4, 50. So it's gonna give us a horizontal distance of 50 millimeters from the center of this point to this line, and obviously this line is meeting this point or this line over here as well vertically. So the end point of this line is going to be 50 millimeters from this center point as well. I think that's making it too complicated, so I'm just going to make this line, which is going to be 50 millimeters away from this the center of the circle, and then I'm going to manually join this line to this as well. You're going to see what I mean by that. So I'm going to select the line command over here, and then take any point on this circular arc and keep going down until I reach this line's height, and then press escape now. So this point is, and this point. So I held control and selected these 2 points so that I can have this horizontal dimension. It was 50 as we calculated. I need to lock this dimension, and I need to select this point and select this point by holding control and make them coincident, which is gonna bring all these dimensions, all this point and this point at it's gonna make them constrained. But over here we can see that it's conflicting with any other dimension. So I'm gonna go over here and then disable this constraint, which makes it vertical. So I'm gonna delete that, and it's gonna make it fully constrained. So it's, as you can see, it's not moving at all. And then again we need to make one more line over here to make it a closed loop. Perfect. And press escape now. So, and now you can see we've got a fillet over here, which is a 10 millimeter fillet radius, and we've got a fillet over here and fillet over here. We cannot see the radius of this and this fillet, so I'm just gonna use a 10 millimeter radius for both, a millimeter radius for both of these fillets as well. So I'm gonna go back and then use the fillet command, select this arc and this line and make it 10.0, lock this dimension, go over here and then lock this again, because now it's referencing, because now since we've trimmed this arc, so it's we have to reference it again. Make a fillet over here as well, select this line, select this horizontal line, make it 10 and then lock it. Do that over here as well. We gotta lock this. Okay, before locking it I'm gonna make the fillet, because otherwise we'd have to lock it again. So make it 10 as well, and then lock this dimension and lock this dimension as well. Perfect. So now, as you can see over here, we don't need this section because it doesn't exist over here. So I'm gonna use the delete segment again and delete this segment of this circular arc. Now if I hide all these dimensions by unchecking this dimension display option, as you can see that we got one half ready. So we've got this half drawn up in Creo. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all this stuff. So this is what I mentioned initially when I was talking about symmetries. This is why symmetries are so powerful, and you need to identify them, so it saves you a lot of stuff. If I did not identify this symmetry early on in before when I looked at the drawing, I would have to draw all of it again. So I can show you what I mean. I've selected all of this. I'm gonna go and use the mirror command and use the center line that we drew earlier, and then I'm gonna select this, and it's gonna mirror it on the other side as well. So as you can see over here now, we have created our drawing like this. So yeah, this is the drawing. So these pluses that you see over here, these are the center points of these arcs. So they're just a construction symbols, so they're not part of the model, but they're here to identify where the center points of these arcs lie. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video completely, and I would highly appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel so that I can bring you more videos like this. I'm hoping to bring make more videos on other softwares as well, including CATIA and AutoCAD. So yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to this channel to help support this channel, and then leave a feedback in the comment section as well. And because I go through all the comments that you give, and I would highly appreciate if I can get any feedback as well. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you, and bye bye.